morning to you, good afternoon to you from wherever you are watching from. So let me know if the sound is
after the election, where them do, we still they wait for the change, all the promise when they make, they gonna be like saying a fake, where the money, where the food, cause everybody want improve, since you come, no tears and pain, we don't tire to complain, see the bad way you've been do. You don't turn Nigeria into two. 97% and 5%. You know been talk like president. They rule Nigeria with sentiment. And take your office to revenge. Oh yeah now, Oga Buhari, we dey beg you. Let Nigeria no go scatter for your head, yo. Yes, sir. After the election, where them do, we still they wait to see the change, yo. Cause all the promise when they make, they don't be like saying a fake, yo. And where the money, where the food, Nigerian people want improve. But since you come, not tears and pain, we don't tire to complain, no employment for the youth, insecurity no improve, inflation don't they hit the roof, still government no they say the truth. Oh yeah my brother, this change now yawa, we don't do this suffer, pray God for Nigeria. Oh yeah my sister, this comment now yawa, you don't do this suffer, we pray God for Nigeria. After the election where them do,
Chai! Now wow, people wey supposed talk truth to power don't off mind. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we loud, Maiyegun don't come, my people make we shout, Maiyegun don't come, Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, Maiyegun don't come, MaiyegunDiary Politico, Maiyegun don't come, this one not the off in mind, Maiyegun don't come, and in the touchlight every corner, Maiyegun don't come. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power. Over naira, still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you louder, Maiyegun don't come, my people make we shout, Maiyegun don't come, Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, Maiyegun don't come, MaiyegunDiary Politico, Maiyegun don't come, this one not they off in mind, Maiyegun don't come, person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say MaiyegunDiary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Poor man picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, Maiyegun don't come, my people make you shout, Maiyegun don't come, Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses.
Thank you. Good evening.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làwọn tó jódodo. Maiyegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Thank you so much for joining me from wherever you are watching from. This is Maiyegun live, and good evening to you, good morning to you, good afternoon to you from wherever you are watching from. So let me know if the sound is perfect and if the picture is also perfect just before we get fully into it, and share the video because that's what I'm doing too.
Diary, Politico. Godfatherism, kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun Diary. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ ṣe o, kẹ́gbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu. Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó jódodo. Maiyegun Diary.
Thank you for joining me. I don't know if many of you actually watched the replayed or recorded broadcast featuring Buhari, the Nigeria president. And he was talking about a lot of things. Some of them caught my attention, as so many people are currently dissecting the whole thing he said, the whole blah, 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 blah. But in the process, I picked one, which happens to be the writer of this broadcast. I told Oyo State governor to go and negotiate with the herdsmen causing crisis in Oyo State. There is nothing else I can do. That caught my attention. And as a Yoruba man, knowing that it wasn't just herdsmen with cows that are wreaking havoc in Yoruba land. But Buhari said he told the two governors from Oyo and Ondo, because that's the only one he could remember. He was trying to probably figure out what second state governor he told when they told him about the havoc being wreaked by Fulani terrorists, armed AK-47 wielding terrorists. He said he told them if they want peace, they should go and negotiate with them. But the problem is not just the herdsmen, like, Fulanis with cows. We are talking about armed terrorists who are specialized in kidnapping people. You see, it all started from invasion of farms by armed Fulani herdsmen. They will, they will graze their cows into your farm. And if you try to, push back, they will attack you, still destroy your farm. In the process, the farmer could be killed and everyone on site. Now, the media will report it as farmers-herders clash or farmers-herders clashes. Meanwhile, it's the farmers that are always the victim, mostly who are dead in the course of those clashes. So we said this is not farmers-herders clashes. But it escalated from that, whereby people are being ambushed, shot at, their vehicle being ambushed by armed terrorists, and those, getting kidnapped and spending days, sometimes weeks in the forest, in the same Yoruba forest. People paying ransom to them to be released. That is no longer farmers-herders clashes. And this particular one is the reason why Oloye Sunday Igboho got involved. His people from Ibarapa land, the people of northern part of Oyo State, they have been under under incessant attacks, invasion, kidnapping, raping of aged women, young women. A lot of atrocities being committed, but most of their complaints were never beyond the table of the police in Oyo State. Igboho was from there. He decided to go and visit the same people they said were perpetrating that. But before Igboho went, something happened. Yoruba governors came together and they said, we need to do something about our security. In fact, if we care for our people, there's no better time than now to start the state police. So they started one. And they did it rightly, by the way. So they formed a local security outfit outside the Nigerian security outfit, controlled by the government of Nigeria, controlled by Buhari. And it's called Amotekun. They were supposed to go into the forest, having the backing after the houses of assemblies in Yoruba land passed laws legalizing that. But Nigeria, under Buhari, was like, no, you can't go after them. So the first time they went after them in the same region, northern part of Oyo State, they encountered this terrorist. And in fact, they killed, quote me, because it's out there online, right? They killed about 4 of them and they arrested 48 of them. Why did they kill and arrest, killed, 3 or 5 and then they arrested 48? It was because they engaged the Amotekun in a gun battle. In the process, they got the rest of them and they captured the rest of them and they took them to the state capital. The media said Fulani bandits clashed with Amotekun. 3 or 5 killed, 48 arrested. And within just an hour or two, Abuja reacted. How dare you call the farmers? Is it because they are Fulanis? Now, the real context here is that this whole problem later led to people having to resort to self-help. That was what brought Oloye Sunday Igboho out. How can they do this to us in our land? We are Yorubas. We should never be intimidated to the point that we are paying ransom to terrorists, victims who have been in their dens, the dens of kidnappers as Yorubas, who survived, who paid ransoms. They came back. They said in their report, these were Fulanis. They no longer work with cows. In fact, because they came with cows, maybe they got to map the entire region. They know everywhere. They know everywhere that even if you put out such a team to go and look for anybody kidnapped, you will get lost because they know everywhere. People gave the account. These were supposed to be materials that should be helping the people in government, your politicians and your governors, your senators and them. But as long as they are Yorubas and they are in government, or let me say they are in office or in their different offices, but they are not in power. So evidence like this are buried on the altar of national unity. So now Yorubas are bleeding. And one of them, or two of the governors, visited Buhari. And they said, this is happening. We have this problem on our hands. And in fact, we would like to get better power to arm our security outfit to fight these terrorists. I mean, we believe that you, Mr. President, you are likely never going to support that. You won't support people killing Nigerians. They are killing people here. The only response that Buhari gave to Seyi Makinde was that in the olden days, back in the days, there used to be a way the leaders, community leaders, handled the Fulanis. That Seyi Makinde should go and explore that. He should go and use that, which mostly is about negotiation. According to Buhari, when he tried to explain that, he said, Back in the days, there used to be grazing routes, which has been debunked. Like there's nothing like grazing route in Yoruba land. It said there used to be grazing routes that if the Fulanis bring their cows to your community and somehow they destroy your farm, the elders in that community, they will mediate between the farmer and the herder. And they have a way of doing that. That the governors who are complaining about Fulani invasion, they should go and empower the local governments so that local governments, local government can also empower the community leaders who will then use the old style of accommodating the Fulanis. And that's the only way out. That's why he told Seyi Makinde. But you remember when Oloye Sunday Igboho was telling us and showing us things going on right there in the forest of Yoruba land, everywhere there. People said, what is your business? Let the government do their job. They said, but people will report, even people, when people put up a fight and they capture these assailants, they find them back in their communities in days. They have been released, no matter crime or whatever crimes they committed. So people are helpless. The governor of your state, the one before him, Ajimobi, the way he handled it then was that he was able to use the local security that they always put together. They have Mesa in Lagos, and they have one. I can't remember the name they have for them in your state. But they are aware of all these atrocities, right? So Seyi Makinde was aware as a government, and they put together a security outfit to fight it. And they met a stumbling block from the government of Nigeria. Then somebody came out and people said, what's your business? Let the government do their own job. What is my friend? Just, not knowing that the government that your people or your state people and Yoruba people in general are waiting to do their job. That government already told your governors they should go and negotiate with your kidnappers. Because what they did is that they narrowed it down to cows and farm. And that is exactly not the problem. And the governors know that. That is not the problem. It's not about cows anymore. It's beyond that. And the offer on the table is that they should go and build schools to try and accommodate them. The accommodation part is that give them land, you can create a space for them in this in replacement of old grazing routes. So as a Yoruba man, that joined them, hoping that Igboho was overreacting. Today, the kidnappings in Yoruba land continues. Just a few days ago, a pastor and 3 members of his church were kidnapped, and 3 escaped, but the pastor didn't escape, but he was eventually rescued after paying ransom of about 1.3 million naira for his freedom. When he came out, he ended up in the hospital. And those are just the few ones that managed to come out and talk about it. Somebody was talking to me the other day and he said, as Ogun State government brought back the Ogun State citizens, the Yoruba sons and daughters that are refugees in Benin Republic, I said, no, I keep talking about it. I have never seen it or read it anywhere, because to them, it didn't happen. Do you get that now? So he already told the Yoruba governors that you either negotiate with them or you just live with it. So they now asked him something that, as, what do you call it? As a part of the interview, they asked him something about who does he have anyone in mind already that is going to succeed him. And he said, if I tell you who is going to succeed me, they will kill me. In office, not in power. That is what you have as political representatives in Yoruba land. So normally, at this junction, right, everyone should begin to at least agree that any political decision or any political choice or let's do this idea brought by this crop of Yoruba political class is never, ever, should never by any means be trusted. Normally, we know that they should never be trusted. But in case like this, that distrust of anything they say should even be followed with action, not just like, they are just lying. We know they are lying, Maiyegun. You get what I mean now? Because they have no real idea of what they are into. Look at what happened in Lagos yesterday, something that is now talk of the town. Yeah? It is also a reminder that those you called political office holders who tells you that they have an understanding why the Yorubas should still stick with the arrangement you have in Nigeria today. Right? The reason why you should never take what they say by any means, take it serious, politically or what have you, is what happened in Lagos yesterday. All right? I'm going to repeat that. Then I'm going to come back to what this guy said about restructuring. There's something, by the way, that comes to mind just after watching Buhari interview. Watching Buhari answer questions about serious things, right? It's not good for your mental health. That is why I choose not to crop some of this, what he said. I choose not to crop them and share them with you in this broadcast. I'll do my best to connect them and pass my message to you. As a Yoruba man, if this didn't bother you, nothing, I don't think anything will bother you. But maybe after I say something after it, it will make sense to you. Expectation from what Nigeria is going to offer us, from what Nigeria is offering us now as a Yoruba people, the sacrifice, the bloodbath, the agony, the fear of unknown, and every other thing that makes it so unbelievably ridiculous that Yorubas will want to stick to a system that kills them economically and, in fact, physically most of the time, violently too. Right? So, Sanwo-Olu went to Magodo yesterday. Is the governor of the richest states in Nigeria. Is the governor. Economically, that is an economic power that should normally, if it was actually worthy, if it was indeed with any power at all, that should be enough for Nigeria to treat not just Lagos State, the Yorubas, with a lot, much respect. But these guys brought shame, and possibly not even ashamed of it, but will remind them the consequences of some of this. Lagos State that contributes over nearly 500 billion naira on VAT alone, value-added tax from the residents of Lagos State, something that feeds more than 22 states in Nigeria. That if Lagos State should hold theirs, right? 22 states in Nigeria, majority of them in northern Nigeria, 2 of them in Yoruba land, and the rest of other part of Nigeria, including Bayelsa. Can you believe that? Most of those mismanaged states. That Lagos State governor, controlled by the godfather, who considered that as his own means of a deep pocket, that brought him that hand him a chair on the table of the corrupt Nigerian system. It was something litigation between, families and governments about the land, Magodo land in Shangisha. So, anyway, I don't know, for those who are following the story anyway, right? The people of Magodo in Shangisha who are going to lose their properties in that land where the new owners won the Supreme Court judgment, right? The Lagos State government said they are giving you 512 acres of, 512 plot of land. somewhere where you are going to be allocated each plot according to what you have or what you currently have at Shangisha. But the governor was there yesterday and they were talking about control and command. Some said, if not because of what Nigeria has become, right? When a bomb blast happened, something they called, what was that blast about in Lagos just last year that killed a lot of people? So Sanwo-Olu took pictures of that and he flew to Abuja to go and show it to Buhari. We need help. Our people need help with this and that. I'm talking about the richest state in Nigeria, governor of the richest state in Nigeria, because most of their money are looted by themselves after Abuja took the largest share and do the Father Christmas for the rest of the country. So he took pictures of what happened in the states to go and beg in Abuja for support. That support never came. So the same governor, when this crisis of land disputes and all of that, court cases and all of that, got to the point of Supreme Court and the judgment came, people were like, okay, at this point, you would think you don't expect those who won in Supreme Court to just go to bed and say, okay, we just wanted to prove to you that we are the owners. No, they would take actions. And most of the time, before they even got the Supreme Court judgment in what Nigeria is today, right? It must have its own political, what have you, that backed it up, where Malamu and Gang came in. But the governor of Lagos State, the person who's supposed to be the real, it was, they woke him up. According to him, they woke him up with a protest from the people from the estate that hundreds of policemen armed have locked the gates to their estates and they have shut them down. Nobody could go in, nobody could come out. All that kind of scenario. Like, not because the policemen have a plan, no plan, just show of power that they told us to go there and lock the gate. They don't care about anyone there. So the governor had to calm down. Some said, why did the governor have to go there? In the first place, the governor, according to, I'm going to show you the video again, because this is like an extended one, right? The governor, a Yoruba man, an Ijebu man, by the way. Yeah, Sanwo-Olu is an Ijebu man. They are all failure. So they said it would have put a call through, number one, to those who are likely to be their superiors, the Attorney General, the police IG. And whatever happened, it could have possibly used that position of, I'm the governor. Can you please tell them to vacate that vicinity? This is not right. This is not how we're going to handle it. This is a case between the landowners there, the family that owns the land that won the case, and the state government that, So they could have done that out of respect, yeah? But some said there is more to it. That Sanwo-Olu have to enter his own vehicle, his convoy, all his policemen, and it went there. But according to Sanwo-Olu, when he got there, said, I spoke to Malamu, and Malamu said he had no clue, he had no idea of your presence here. Automatically, as a governor, if he wasn't lying, apart from the shame that some people are currently trying to manage now, yeah? As a governor, when the Attorney General says, no, I don't know anything about it, and you phone the police IG and he says, no, I have no clue about it, and you go to the scene, and you have your security details, police orderlies, all these people, it controls those ones. It doesn't control the police. He would have disarmed them, arrest them, and take them away. But he dare not. He possibly knew why they were there. He decided to be like, maybe they've told him that, hey, I'm in a meeting. What do you want? Maybe when he was talking to Malamu, he was like, sir, you're Attorney General, sir. Some policemen are like, see, Sanwo-Olu, I'm very busy, okay? They are doing their job. I'm very busy. I'll talk to you later. So he decided to go there to go and use his own. So the point there is that that's ridicule. That's that kind of embarrassment that people are calling embarrassment or ridicule or what have you now. Yeah? If you are a Yoruba man, when you think deeper, you are likely going to ask yourself, how did we degenerate to this level? I mean, there used to be some level of and this is why. Just a reminder before we continue, as a Yoruba man watching it right now.
Oyewole, a chief superintendent of police.
Where is your base?
I'm from Abuja, sir.
Okay, so you are not in Lagos State.
I'm not in Lagos. We made this place our base for the purpose of this operation, sir.
What is the operation?
The operation is all about executing the Supreme Court judgment that has to do with Maiyegun.
Okay, so do you have a copy of the Supreme Court?
Oh, I don't have it at hand here, but it's been given to them ever before now.
No.
It's been given to the residents ever before now.
No, the court order is not with the residents, it's with the government. So the government has been given.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
So whatever court order you are talking, which you are not even competent to know, which you don't even know anything about, is not to the resident. It's a case between the supposed people and Lagos State government.
Thank you, sir.
So it has nothing to do with the residents of the state. Please, can you call your superior in Abuja that you need to deactivate and you need to leave Lagos now? Please, can you call your superior in Abuja and tell them that the governor is here and I'm the chief security officer and that you don't have any business being in my state right now and that I want you to disengage forthwith from here.
Thank you very much, sir. Your Excellency, sir. I'm not here on my own orders.
That's why I'm asking you to make a phone call and tell them, your superior, that I'm here standing in front of you. Make that phone call.
Thank you, sir. I'm here on instruction of the Inspector General of Police to the AGF, sir. And that is why I'm here. I'm too small or too low to call them. Your Excellency, sir, with due respect, sir, you can call them directly, sir. So that they will ask us to leave.
So Inspector General will ask you to come.
I'm here on instruction of Inspector General of Police to the AGF. Attorney General of the
I have spoken to the Attorney General this morning,
okay.
So he's not aware that you are here.
But we are expecting the call that we should disengage.
That's what I'm saying to you.
Yes, sir.
Because when I make the phone call, it will be tougher. If you can call and say that the governor is here in front of you, what should you do?
It is not my duty to call because I'm too low to do that, sir.
Okay.
If you call...
So where are your men?
My men are here. They are all over the estate, sir.
How many men do you have here?
I have several of them, sir.
No, what number?
I cannot precisely tell you the number.
So
now,
even
sir.
if anything happens to your men, you don't even know the number of men?
I know the number of my men I have here.
What is the number?
We sought for some other people to join us now.
What is the number that you have here?
I'm sorry, sir, Your Excellency.
So you cannot even do an head count of the number you
For the
have?
security purpose, I cannot say this is the figure, sir.
So you don't know the number of men?
I
that you
know
have
the
brought?
number, but for security purpose, I cannot say this is the figure, sir.
So you know I'm the one talking to you?
Yes,
you say
sir.
you're an assistant, what is it?
I'm a chief superintendent of police.
Oh, CSP?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So pressmen, don't worry. I'll make 2 phone calls, right? One to the Inspector General of Police and one to the Attorney General of Police, Attorney Inspector of the Federation. I have spoken with him this morning and says he knows nothing about the fact that they're still here. Very illegal operation. They have absolutely nothing, and I'm the chief security of the state. Not even with the Inspector General wrote me, and before I said Jack Robinson, his men are here. They are not from the Lagos State Police Command, like you have said, right? They are not from Lagos State Police Command. It says it's come from Abuja, and I don't know what other interest do they have beyond just keeping peace of the country. This is not an expectation that I will expect for them to keep peace, because they don't have any business here at all. The case is between the state government and I'm this governor standing in front of you, not with my residents. These are my residents that have been
Charlie boy. But this ain't Charlie boy, so Mumu don't too much. Charlie boy, now Mumu not too much. You be Mumu. You think say they wise. You are a Mumu man. You are a Mumu man. And then throw the tear gas if something way bad for this issue. We just pray. They say our Mumu done too much, our Mumu done too much. You be Mumu, they call other people Mumu. They never show you say you be Mumu. Nigeria is not for Desani. Nigeria is not for Charlie Boy. Nigeria is not for Goodluck Jonathan. Nigeria is not for
is Nigeria is not for you. You be mumu, you they call other people mumu. You think say you they wise. Do you know who you are talking? Do you know I'm the one talking to you? So they don't know say you be Sanwo-Olu. Now, as a Yoruba man, these are the things that you will call the kind of psychological limitation of oneself, but pretending to be something that you are not. On the other hand, okay, don't let me confuse you, because I don't want to be like aspire to perspire, to acquire, maguire, get you lost. So I'll say that again. Normally, you would expect that as a state governor in Yoruba land, right? When they talk, they are speaking the mind of the people they lead. But you and I know that that is not true. Yeah. But I mean, you expect that to be. Then you also expect that when they talk, yeah, it should come with some kind of authority. Some are saying that if he was wicked, it go don't rush the guy. No, it won't rush him. It will just say some other things like, it won't try to pretend like Sanwo-Olu. But again, now put that scenario in the scenario of the Amotekun and security in Yoruba land, and see this guy possibly making a defense or kind of giving their defense of the idea of protecting the Yoruba people or protecting the people generally in Yoruba land. You can tell how weak it's going to be, yeah? So that is why it's easier for Buhari to say, hello, for now, just... And most of the time, yeah, Buhari's federal government continue to blackmail them. That's another angle that some people probably don't really pay attention to. You see all of these governors, they are also little hitlers, little criminals with bigger ambitions. They are criminals, okay? The same way they go cap in hand to go and beg Buhari, and they can't push anything of interest of their people, genuinely or passionately. No, it's always passive. It's the same way they treat the local government branch of government, the third tier of government. Some of them, once they become governor, their family members, their concubines, their friends, their associates, they will take over the local government areas. And every money that is accrued to them. So all of this makes me think that, except for those who know that they are just deceiving themselves and waiting for their turn, you should be concerned. I mean, even if you don't agree with the system in a way, sometimes you expect some actions, because they are humans, they can read they can see what's going on. You expect some actions from their words, like, well, security Amotekun story, nothing happened. Why? Because Buhari doesn't want it. He told them to go and negotiate. They are not bold enough to come and tell us and say, hey, Yoruba people, we will tell you the truth. Buhari doesn't want us to defend you. He said we should go and negotiate. Do you want us to go and throw it back? But they can't. Because they are all thieves themselves. And Buhari's federal government keeps that compromise on them. And since they are little thieves with bigger ambition, they give no damn. And that brings us back to those who are telling us that we have no idea of what we are talking about, when some said we can't really trust these guys because they actually have no other power than to join in the subjugation, oppression, and whatever they are doing to the people. That's all they could do. Or make statements to pretend that they have something to offer. Nigeria's system gave them no chance. That system that didn't give them chance should have been a concern to people like Sanwo-Olu, the richest state in Nigeria. A place whereby they should have their own police, They should have, but rather than have a proper police to do job, they created touts and they create jobs for those who are just tax collectors. Just same thing to further the oppression, to deepen the suppression. Nothing else. They should be concerned. But again, living the lie means that who cares? Everybody's waiting for his own turn. Waiting for my turn. But you should care because you are going to be the victims. Even they are going to be victims too. But before it gets to them, you're likely going to be forced. Like what is happening in Magodo and what is happening almost everywhere, by the way. There's no real power in their hands. Even the Jaga bandits, the Jaga Wiri, the Jaga addicts, the Ashiwaju Awon Ole, Ashiwaju Awon Agbero, that they want to make your president, doesn't really have belief in the people he claimed to be coming from their, from their land, the Yorubas. He had to go cap in hand to the people who have reduced them, demoralized them, that they have seen what they have as worthless. It's not worthy of, it's not worth fighting for. That is exactly what I see here. When a Yoruba governor walks into an office where they want to discuss the matters concerning his states, and he gets in and they start talking and they say, hey, don't waste your breath. That is not going to work. Just go back and negotiate with them. And you're like, but sir, no, it's not going to work. And you are too coward to go back to your people and say, you know what? We need to go and apologize to Igbowo. And we need to do everything within our reach and our power to get him set free. Because do you want to hear the truth? Buhari's government have no plan for all these crises in Yoruba land. No matter how much we try to suppress the news, no matter how much we try to hide the truth, or try to pretend to be keeping or controlling the bleeding, guys, let's tell you the truth. There's no help coming. There is no help coming. We need to apologize to Igbowo. Indeed, the entire Yoruba people, including those who were mocking him and still mocking him. No wahala. Your governors know the truth. But saying it is likely going to encourage you to fight for Yoruba land. They don't see Yoruba land as a place that is worthy to be fought for. And I think that's how the rest of them actually sees it too. So again, I don't know if you are following the context I'm trying to bring up here. You have listened to the events. You have seen the actors, the actions and everything, right? Now, if you have to now bring it all together and say, out of all these, how powerless are we really in the whole thing? If our politicians makes it so kind of clandestine, like a pedestrian, something so passive that the people of Yoruba land, they are not worthy to be fought for or to be defended by all means, that they got to the negotiation table where the Fulani oligarchs and their team, they are on that table. And the report is brought that, yeah, we're having this problem and we have devised the means of tackling it. We know there will be others. But what we are saying is that when we know the others, we can differentiate the men from the criminals with guns. So in order to differentiate them, we have established this police, state police that will go after them and we can arrest and, prosecute the criminals. No, you can't do that. And the Yoruba governors, they kept it to themselves so that you can continue to suffer that way as long as you continue to be part of it. And yes, they now came back to start telling you about the next election that is going to keep that Nigeria the same way. Which means whatever happens to you from now until that May 29, 2023. If that ever comes, if you ever witness that, you just have to live with it. Obasanjo came out and he said, don't expect anything different from Buhari, because they know. He told them, I'm not going to do anything. And you shouldn't do anything you want to do. Go and negotiate with them. I told you to give us land. Let's give them land. Create schools for them and all of that in your state. You said no. And that's why he said, when they said something about the problem of insecurity, he said, that is why his government found a solution. The solution was Waterway Bill. You know that one that they call the Waterways Bill, that will give the control of all the waterways in Nigeria. But guess what? 90% of waterways in Nigeria are in southern Nigeria. Do you get that? 78% of the landmass in Nigeria is in northern Nigeria. And they call them the deserts. So in southern Nigeria, it's more kind of, a bit of agrarian, greener, area where things grows quite well enough. So they now use the excuse of climate change that is drying up the deserts. That is why they are moving down to the south. So Buhari's government solution was to go and develop a bill that will become law. That law will give the federal government of Nigeria the control of all the waterways, and not just the waterways, including 10 kilometers. I think they said, 10 kilometers from the sea line, the shoreline, the border of your water. So it simply means all of you living close to different water or rivers or sea in Nigeria, in southern Nigeria, they are going to do what is happening in Magodo now. But this one is going to come like a fiat. So if it becomes law, that simply means that all of you living close to Lekki water where stuff's there, you will be moved away 10 kilometers away from the water. Anywhere you see water, they will have to move everybody living there, move them away by law. But people are now scared that who are those who are going to move in? They said it's going to be the Fulanis and their cows. That is the solution of Buhari, one of the solutions. And they are kicking and pushing it seriously to make it permanent, to further take away the same power that the Korofo governors that you have in Yoruba land, who are culpable and then in collusion with the same system I'm talking about, because they can't talk about this like I'm talking about it now. They will tell you, probably I'm exaggerating. Does this sound to you like I'm exaggerating anything? Connecting the dots? Does that sound exaggerative to you? Because this happened. So if that becomes law, or your state, Ogun State, Ondo State, Lagos State, they will have to give 10 kilometers of land from water to the federal government of Nigeria. And whoever they put on that land is none of your business. Or at least give land then. You guys have places that things grow so easily. Cows can eat the farm, eat anything else, but give them place and then they will put them there. As if to say Nigeria ever get anything right anyway. But for 6 years, not even in Katsina State, where Buhari comes from, where bandito, they call them bandito. Now they've declared them terrorist organization, by the way, just so you know. Bandits are no longer just bandits. They are now Fulani terrorists. Okay? Don't refer to them as bandits anymore. Katsina State, where this guy come from, there's no one single Ruga built there. Yeah? You remember the story of Dubai or UAE when they said they shot some seed or seedling of something into the sky. And then that one turned to rain, where it rained heavily over the desert everywhere. You remember that technology? Okay, maybe that's too far. You remember when they said Nigeria, Buhari's government, they were looking for oil in Bauchi and few places. And when they thought they discovered oil, they found that the $3 billion they invested in looking for oil, they finally found a large under the surface water, yeah, That's massive in billions cubic tons of, I don't know, liter of water. So they were disappointed. So I don't know if they blocked the hole. So they could have, just drop one pumping machine, one big one inside, and build irrigation where all those dry land, they will just get regular free watering, And before you know it, things will begin to, it's about water, yeah? Buhari didn't use all of that. He didn't build any ruga anywhere. He gave some governors money to give land. So people said it's not about cows, it's not about ruga, it is about land grab, which is the campaign, the violent campaign that indigenous people are witnessing every day since Buhari came to government for almost 7 years now. You get? Thank you very much for that. Thank you. So yeah, on the insecurity party, well, so as a Yoruba man, or as a Yoruba man, even if you believe in one Nigeria, it shouldn't be this type of one Nigeria, if I have to put it that way, right? Buhari was saying something about agriculture as part of his conversation today. He said that they have invested so well in agriculture that Nigeria has now started exporting rice. Is that true? Of course, it's not true. Nigeria is not exporting rice. Buhari shut the border, and a bag of rice jumped from 8,000 naira to 30,000 naira or more, as people are currently confirming, and it's going to be more and more as well. Hunger in the land for the people who, contrary to what he said, though, for people who invested so much in agriculture, and he was asking people to go back to farm. I was expecting those interviewers, those guys who were talking to him, Shemun and the other interviewer, the lady, to ask Buhari about the farmers that are now paying taxes to terrorists in northern Nigeria. What did he have to say about that? They didn't ask him. I'll tell you a bit about it, okay? What about the farmers, the rice growers in Borno that got beheaded, 108 or so of them in a single day by Boko Haram? What happened after that? They didn't ask him, all right? But guess what? The land grab that Boko Hari's government wants, which some of the southern governors are so coward to even admit or acknowledge. Rather, some of them are in bed with Buhari to the point of collecting money for it. But the disadvantage is this. You see, as Boko Hari's government continue to shield the terrorists, the havoc they continue to wreak, continue to impact on food in Nigeria. So the food inflation, which is an example that I gave earlier, rice from 8,000 naira to 33,000 naira, that is not 2% or 5% inflation. For those who are good in math, 8 times 4, that's 32. So if you put it somehow, that's going to be like 320% increase. And that's exactly what happened to every other thing like perishable food that were normally grown, locally. Farms have been ransacked, destroyed. People have been chased. Some people have resorted to growing things that they can just feed on, not in commercial quantity anymore. And this has impacted in the food supply in Nigeria, further hunger, which has also led people to more poverty, among others. But according to Buhari, it's done so well. But all of you who are going to school to be graduates, engineering, no. You're wasting your time. Don't think you're going to get any work from government. Go back to farm. But is the farm safe? That's a question they didn't ask him. Just like I said, listening or watching Buhari talk is not really good for your mental health. right? I've called your attention to the parts that really should concern and worry you. Because according to him, your 2023 election, which he is not so sure will happen, is just sure that it will be away. He said that. He said, I'm going to probably be completely away. Among other bad that she responded about the 2023 election, the part that some of you should, after listening to my first part of this broadcast on the powerlessness of those who probably will make threats politically, but they've got nothing. They've got no teeth, right, to bite in whatsoever way. Now, the same characters are telling you that even if you don't believe in Nigeria anymore, as a Yoruba man, you can give Nigeria its last shot by supporting a Yoruba president. That is a lie that you as a person should never, ever take. And this is why. Look at the characters that parade themselves today as the power brokers in Yoruba land. The number one thing is that they speak more for Nigeria that pays them than they speak for the Yoruba people. Not to talk about putting up a fight for the Yorubas. But giving Nigeria its last shot, if you have last shot to shoot, it is the last shot, it should be the shot that puts Nigeria to sleep from the hands of these business mongers. Do not be swayed or deceived, because the characters involved, yeah, they actually have no real substance based on evidence. I've just given you one. I've shown you a video. Those guys can make a statement, and then you believe them because they said, let's give it a last shot. The Buhari's government and his gang, like I do say, they know what they have done. They have divided Nigeria beyond anything repairable. Okay? They know. And they are scared to death what the reaction of whoever takes charge, who is not the person that probably agrees that it will continue the same thing they were doing or risk being overthrown. I will explain that to you again. Something that actually says the power of whether Yoruba will be president or not is not even in the hands of the Yorubas, no matter how much they try to blackmail you into it. Anything in Yoruba land is not in the hands of those who are going to come to you, blackmail you to keep you in Nigeria. That's the point I'm making. Why does the government give them the condition? And they are not stupid. That many of you would rather die than take all these conditions. But for now, you probably would love to keep quiet until they no longer have the power to kill you or send you to exile. A very cheap line that the politicians in Yoruba land will say to you. Now, don't let this sound confusing to you, except if you want to confuse yourself, right? Those in the political players in Yoruba land, they will kowtow the dictates of those useless caliphate, cabal, who happens to also be against their own people, because nothing they do is in the interest of anyone, including their own people. Nothing they do. I hope people get that enough in the long run. But you see these characters in Yoruba land, whatever they want to do, and I'll tell you why. Politically, they have dragged themselves into a rabbit hole. How to get out is completely up to them. Here it is. Electorally, normally the way Nigeria should be, nobody can be president except you win in every part of the country, including Igbo land. But people have now devised means that most of these things still borders on numbers of the total votes. And when you talk about the southern Nigeria, they don't have the numbers because of the way Nigeria is structured. the northern Nigeria is more populated than the southern Nigeria, and it is only in Nigeria that is like that. If you check every world map, right, you will see the north, you will see the south. If you check every world map, Australia, America, or what do you call it, even here in the UK, I live in Scotland. This is the northern part of, the UK. So the population is expected, if you are starting your journey from the south, which is expected to be densely populated, right? In Africa, the southern Nigeria, the southern part is usually kind of a little bit warm and kind of rainy and sometimes cold. Why majority of the time in northern Nigeria, northern part of Africa, it is mostly warm. Hot and sometimes warm, windy, and all that. So, and it is mostly the same all over the world, where in this part of the world, it is cold. It is colder when you come, if you are coming from England, which is the southern part of the UK, right? It is most populated. As you are traveling up north, the population will start reducing. It will start reducing. As you are traveling deep north into the cold, it will start reducing and reducing. The population will start. That's how it should be. But in Nigeria, if you are in southern Nigeria, southern part of Nigeria, as they program it to, and it's a lie, the population is limited. But as you are going to the north, as you are going and going and going and going, the population will start growing and bigger and bigger and bigger and massive. Because the colonialists, the colonial masters designed it that way. So electorally, it is no longer about winning in every state anymore. It is about finding the probable states that you can force their hands to just give you that tally. The most you need is from northern Nigeria. So therefore, Yorubas that are being told to endure Buhari, to condemn Igboho, to condemn their fellow brothers for asking for a better, safer country, Yoruba nation. What they are selling to them is to endure, because soon it is going to be Yoruba turn. But what they are not telling them, what they are not telling you as a Yoruba man, is that a Yoruba man will be president or not is not in the hands of the Yorubas. It is in the hands of the same people who forced some Yorubas to demand for the breakaway from Nigeria. The ones some of you are calling names now. But they are only telling you to endure. That's what they're telling you. Endure. Don't listen to those ones. Don't listen to Maiyegun. Is saying nonsense. Yes, Nigeria is not working, but the guy is saying nonsense. Endure. Very soon, we'll have a Yoruba president. And we'll do like we like. Not like it's going to make your life better. Of course, it's not going to make your life better. Having a northern president hasn't made the life of the northerners better. It's made their life hell. So don't rejoice on that. But that is not even in your control. So for those who control that, the terms and conditions they come with, you don't know. I do. Number one, the person must come and protect what they have done now, not to change it. But this is not like olden days, no? If any of you, if you finally agree that, okay, let's give the presidency to them in southern Nigeria, they have to decide. Don't let anybody tell you that Nigeria would rather break. Those who tell you that Nigeria would rather break if they don't give us presidency, yeah? They cannot break a candle. They don't have the capacity. They don't have the power. They will be relying on you, your anger, your disappointment. They will say, oh, you were right after all. They are not giving us presidency. These guys are liars. You are right. Let us all just go and fight for Yoruba nation. They will rely on you. So I'm saying it to you now, that you, as a Yoruba man, Yoruba woman, your campaign, your fight, your everything you want to put into it are not going to determine if Yoruba will be president. They will decide that. And that comes with condition. the conditions that some of you will never, ever, ever agree to ordinarily. But there's a reason for it. They have to protect what they have done. They've killed people deliberately. They've kidnapped people and made them disappear intentionally. They have used the resources of Nigeria to hunt people because of their ethnic nationality, because of their religion. They have shielded terrorists, religious fanatics, jihadists. They have shielded them from prosecution. All these things, they have consequences. Normally, if you want to fix Nigeria, it will start from setting up the Truth and then Reconciliatory Commission. Something that we have to expose the likes of the corrupt, existence of Emalamu and the cover-up of those who work with Buhari, who committed all these atrocities. They will have to unearth them. They will have to call Buhari, whether it's on which year or in grave anywhere. They will have to drag him out to come and give statements. But they need to protect that. Therefore, if you want to be president, you either abide by these conditions, which is going to be a last resort because they have a better option. Now, this is what I called the rabbit hole. That the southern politicians, PDP, APC, or whatever name they want to give to themselves, those who are going to tell you that they have this solution. All we need to do is to come together. And once we have a Yoruba, Yorubas always do it better. Oh, let's have an Igbo president. Igbo president, they have this, Those who are going to sell you those ideas, they are selling you bobo, zobo, because they are just the last resort. You know why? Your politicians are in rabbit hole in southern Nigeria. Apart from maybe one, two, Lagos, Osun, 2 states will stand with Tifnumbu in Yoruba land. The remaining states in Yoruba land, I can give you their names. I'll come back to your state. That one is PDP. States like Ekiti, states like Ondo. What is the third one? We have Ekiti, Ondo, Osun, Ogun, Lagos, Oyo. Okay. Now, let's take Osun and Lagos. Then you have Ekiti, Ondo, and Ogun. Now, Ekiti, Ondo, and Ogun, they are governors, right? They were not decided by Tinubu. Okay? They were decided by Aso Rock. Or your state, which means whatever Aso Rock says, when they decide finally, wherever they want them to stand is where they are going to stand. So your Tifnumbu is naked in Yoruba land. And if their APC finally say, na northerner, somehow they have no choice. But I'll come back to that as well. But Oyo State, then you have a Rivers State, which is PDP. Rivers is in Niger Delta. Oyo is in Yoruba land. For Oyo State, from what I have been told, they said when Seyi Makinde talks to people, he tells them that if Tifnumbu becomes APC presidential candidate, it will support him. Political statement too. Wait for it too. As a Yoruba man, it will support him. But Seyi Makinde and Wike, they are working within their rank among other southern governors to say, if PDP want to win and send APC Egbekegbe away, they will need a northern candidate. And in this case, they have preferences. Top on the list is Tambuwa from Sokoto. The second on the list is their Atifku. There is Kwakwanso there. Saraki also has declared. But, these are southern governors. They don't believe in southern presidents if PDP want to win. Now, you as a southerner, they are narrowing your choice down somehow. Those of you that are going to use emotion, those of you that are going to use tribe, those of you that are going to use religion, because we can't help it. People are going to fall in line based on some of these things. Some won't fall at all. Those ones are my friends. Those who won't fall for any of these lies. And they'll keep saying everything will end in tears. Go and do it. Go for it. Pretend that you will know what you are doing. So they will narrow your options down. That was where Osunbade comes in. When it comes to APC, Egbekegbe. The other day we were talking about Osunbade running for president, and they said, it's impossible, Jare Baba, forget that. It's just, you know what I mean? It is just, political thing, a rumor, where it's not always rumor. Every of these things starts like rumor, okay? Then it comes to light. But if you pay attention to the political games going on behind the scene, remember this, so if you are listening to, if you are watching this video, I am speaking, right, from the position of a Yoruba man who is part of the first marriage called Nigeria. And when I'm using examples, I am using examples from my region. The characters that sit on the table when they talk about, on the table called Nigeria, when they are discussing what should be or should not be, partly when Yorubas comes to the table, the characters that speak there or aspire to speak there or have been speaking. So, to help yourself, you can just put yourself and the characters in your region, which sometimes I do too, right? So it all starts from rumors. Oh, here you go. They saw this picture in Abuja yesterday. They call it the Progressive Project. For those who are familiar with 2016, 2017 elections in Kogi, in Ondo, 2016, 2017, and Oshun. And what transpired politically within their APC that forced Tifnumbu to leave Nigeria until they decided to go and bring him back from France to become the national reconciliator of APC, Egbekegbe. Sorry that I am deviating. The reason why I'm doing that is to remind you that whatever I tell you is cooking. Don't brush it aside, because sometimes it's like busting your bubble. Some people have what they believe in, and this program is not helping them. This program is telling them to drop everything that these politicians have bragged in private, in public, about their position in Nigeria. They don't have any position. They are just mere opportunists, taking advantage of what Nigeria has done to you or is doing to you, as long as they get paid from it. Okay, so making you disbelieve what you have or what you believed, or what you are beginning to believe about these guys can be very difficult. Of course, I need to link all this up. You see, because everything I'm telling you right now, when they start playing out, it won't be the first time, and you shouldn't act surprised. They shook him, but when they disappointed him, it couldn't influence who become the governor of Kogi State. He nearly lost Osun State, where his cousin, distant cousin, is governor. He nearly lost that place. Ekiti State, it was not the one that, he had no choice but to eventually agree that Fayemi should go back, because he considered Fayemi, Fashola, Aregbesola, and few others as betrayers who influenced the Fulani Kabas to break his rank in Yoruba land. The politics he planned was to completely dominate and use that to catapult himself to presidency then or in the future, But they countered it. All his stooges that he wanted to install as governors, they countered him. The Ondo State governor of today, Akeredolu, shouldn't be the governor because he wasn't the one wanted by Tifnumbu. The Kogi State governor that you have today, Yeye Bello, shouldn't be the governor if Tinubu had his way. But he got one thing. He got Oshiomole as the chairman of APC. But after when they are done, and he managed to pretend to be reconciling APC, today, APC is in shambles. And they are so scared to even call their own convention. You see all these betrayers, they are still there. They are all pretending that everything is all right. Right? And in most of all this, they said Tifnumbu blamed Oshibajo for not raising his course very much with Buhari during their first term. Well, guess what? The same Oshibajo is running for president again. If you call it rumor, it is rumor for now. Oshibajo has accepted. Of course, he's managed to go to Buhari and told him that he was going to run. And already, don't lie to yourselves. So, the same way Tifnumbu is mobilizing, yeah, is the same way Oshibajo is mobilizing. Now, the APC, Egbekegbe members, they are divided. But one thing they always like to do to themselves is to lie to themselves. You know, that's a normal thing. They lie to themselves. They live in denial. Right? But all of this is to further plant the mistrust, even among themselves, by the people they kowtow to. When the Oshibajo want to show interest, he is entrusting that with Babangida and so many other, so many other groups and emirs in northern Nigeria. When Tifnumbu want to believe so much in his own ambition, he entrusted that in the hands of the emirs, sultans, and the rest of them in northern Nigeria to do it for him. And he completely pledged his allegiance, denied the Yorubas and the atrocities going on in Yoruba land, or managed to word his, to manage to caution his words so that he doesn't offend them. And he's managed that so far. Now the game don't start. Oshibajo is going to run. He's probably not running because of any other thing than he knows that Tifnumbu stand no chance. And that's something that a regular Lagos Abobaku would not love to hear. They hate that. Shut up your mouth. Even when they go out in confidence to tell the people to wait for Tifnumbu, they are sharing recharge cards, by the way. I got this somewhere.
Yes, now you want to buy. Not it now. 500. You tell you, Jenny. Sarah, I love you. Network. Tinubu remain. I love you. Judge card. Tinubu Egba. Egba, I love you. Network is free. You charge card. No, I can't do everyone. Network. You charge card. Any network Egba. Now free 500, 200, when I load down. Now free. Now free, maybe branch. Go like my relationship. Wọ́n ṣe bí ògbé Tinubu wọ́n lòdì lòdì ẹni tí ẹ̀fọ́ ilẹ̀ yìí ẹgbẹ́ wọn sí ẹfún ọ̀ ẹ lòdì káàdì ní ẹ lòdì ẹ̀. You don't have a what would you? That's what is clear. I'm good already. I do. Okay. Money, you start card. Okay, we go in the tower. Any network, cash card, any network. Any network, load and cash card. Ẹgbà fẹ́ ni elédè cash card 500 ṣe ẹtẹ. Fẹ́ káàdì ni. Ẹ̀rọ ní fóònù. Fídíò ní fóònù. O lòdì 500. Oya àgbà irọ́ ẹ̀kọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ ni o ẹ̀kọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ káàdì ni o lọ́dì ẹ̀ tó ní káàdì ni ẹ̀kọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́.
That's Lagos, by the way. For those who know that is Lagos, Tifnumbu's Lagos. Normally, you would say maybe for awareness that he wants to be president, there's nothing bad in giving gifts. There are people who use gifts to entice voters to come to their campaigns, things like that, you know. But they are considered as bribe. If, you know, in a way. But when you look at the context behind what they were doing there, it is called weaponizing poverty. Bringing Tifnumbu to the consciousness of the poor, heart-beating, daily brutalized Nigerians, Yorubas as well. In your suffering and struggling, just remember that Tifnumbu remembers you. Take this 200 pounds, 200 naira recharge card. Take this 500 naira recharge card. Load it. Just make calls. Tell people that Tifnumbu gave you 500 naira card. So that is bringing him to their consciousness. So every other thing they will hear about Tifnumbu, they will want to listen. And like zombies and all that, they want to see more goodies. Give us something more. It is manipulative. But did you see the young people behind it? Those are the young people you see on social media too. They act like big men. They act like they have jobs. They tell you, I don't really like Tinubu, but Tinubu is our choice. Tinubu is the only option we have. Those are the jobless ones you see on social media who pretend to look good, like they have jobs, but that is their job. This is the season. But it's all coming to one thing. The deceit that they were so confident about in 2015 that brought everybody here. Weaponizing. More people are now poorer than they were in 2015. More graduates are now jobless than they were in 2015, which simply means they have more numbers of people they can weaponize using the weakness, the poverty that they created. So as a Yoruba man and woman, if you have been listening to me from the start, again, it is all connecting and linking everything together to ask yourself. Initially, I said where they should fight for us. They chose to be cowards. They couldn't fight. And they couldn't tell us that they can't fight. They kept it to themselves and continue to tell you to expect help that isn't coming. They were weak. Therefore, their decisions are weak. And at the same time, the same people they are going to use to push. So I said, they don't see Yoruba as worthy of people to fight for. They don't see us as people to fight for when it comes to Project Nigeria. Do you see them as people that is worthy of any kind of pushback for? Do you think so? So you see all those young people, they are in their thousands. They are easy to recruit. The directive for the job is so easy. Just go and meet your fellow brothers and sisters. Talk to them in your language. So that when they come to you, say, see, now Yoruba, now Tinubu, me, I don't like Tinubu, but you know, say me, I not too like politics, I I not to like politics, but if you ask me one-on-one, as a Yoruba man, correct, I will support Tinubu. See, they can't give everybody 5K. Omo, collector now. Omo, you know, say 5K. You know what 5K go do you? You know what they talk. I want to be like 1 week food. Even at that small one, Baba, you know. So they send them back to you to talk to you in the language you understand until they recruit you into that same thing. Most of the time, this is how they do it. Young people, jobless, miseducated, poorly educated, unemployable, most of them, the product of the system. You see them all over social media. Some of them are very popular. At least this is one recording the video, right? He has followers, thousands of followers, possibly watching the video. Some of them saying, when are you bringing it to our street? Oh, I'm going to bring them to our street. Oh, so they send them back to them. They send you get what I mean? So is it worth it? That's my question. If it's worth it, well, you are watching me right now. You know what the end result will be. Before you become a victim yourself, just know what you are playing at. Something else happened in Lagos today for those who have seen that. Just before we go on to what's a terrible thing that happened in Olu today as well. Okay, so this. So that's a timber market in Lagos. A very big one that caught fire, just like fire has been raging all over Nigeria. And it's continued to also expose the vulnerability of the Yoruba people in the projects Nigeria. We are poorer because those who represent us continue to support the system that impoverishes us. Adequate facilities, infrastructures, and all that they continue to elude the people of Yoruba land. We are forced to live like people from people from the war-torn countries or people under the attacks. That is kind of undescribable, right? Even in the midst of plenty, people live in poverty. They are not safe. If your property is on fire, you are likely on your own. And this happened at the heartland of Lagos, Yoruba land as well. I think it's called Okwoba. The timber market. Is it called Okwoba in Ebute Meta? Somebody says Ebute Meta, yeah? God bless you. So they continue to happen and happen and happen. It continues to leave behind it the destruction of, people's built wealth in a way, something that the system doesn't really care about in a way. But it is because of what a precarious situation or position that Nigeria has forced us into. Something that some of us say, if they are serious, they should push and fight for this, even for the restructuring that they were campaigning for in 2015. That alone can give the Yorubas the leverage to handle our resources, manage it enough to at least provide resources that protects wealth of the Yoruba people. When you burn down your wealth, you create poverty. The victims of this are never compensated. They have to lick their wounds all by themselves. But again, that happened in Yoruba land to show to us how incapable and then helpless we are. Something that they will tell you is not true. Again, talking about the imbalance and the brutality that comes with being part of Nigeria, killing innocent people, that are never arrested, prosecuted for any crime, extrajudicial killing that's most Nigerians from, well, the Biafrans, let me use that. The Biafrans from the eastern part of Nigeria are now accustomed to, no thanks to Boko Haram and gang. When the hopeless Uzodinjo, the Supreme Court governor of Imo State, came to power, it opened a new chapter of how low these guys can go, including how evil they can think of, of their own people, to the point of not minding if they are sacrificed for no crime, right? Hopeless Uzodinjo became governor of Imo State after the Supreme Court proclamation or declaration or judgment, whatever you want to call it. And since then, they call them unknown gunmen, terrorists armed by the political class of Imo State, decided to unleash terror on their own people, setting them up for the military to come in and decide to start hunting people, making it a double jeopardy. If you ever get caught up in their political brouhaha, where the bullets are flying, properties are being burned, between the political criminals of Okorocha, Hopeless Uzodinjo, as well as Uche Nwosu, which they are pointing fingers as who are those sponsoring the killings and the shootings and all these stuffs in eastern Nigeria. They are pointing at themselves. None of them is pointing at IPOB as we speak. But it's more than that. They said they wanted to send a lesson. They wanted to teach people a lesson. So they therefore accused them of being supporters of IPOB. People of Olu. They suffered. A few days ago, they said they were celebrating the fact that for the past 1 or 2 weeks, they've not had the military invading their different communities, hunting them down and killing them. And you know who they kill? They kill the young people. The military, the soldiers. They will attack about 4 or 5 communities simultaneously. For example, with what happened there today, reported today, communities, the following communities: Ata, Obo, Omotanze, and Okporo in Olu local government area. These are the communities, right? They were invaded by the military, Nigerian soldiers. Few days ago, the people were celebrating that they've not had any invasion, they've not had any gunshot, they've not had any problem. They were coming back from the ruins of their past experience where soldiers came, and they will pick all the young people. If you are a young man, yeah, they will take them. If you are a man, they take men and young boys. So those they will kill some, right? And then they will parade some as IPOB members, unknown gunmen, and then they will make them disappear. No court judgment, no nothing, just disappear. This operation, a terrorist operation, is so much in Imo State, championed by Hopeless Uzodinjo. All it takes is just for them to say, you are supporting IPOB, and they will wipe your entire family out if you don't run away enough. So there's this part of refugees, people running away from their communities to different communities for safety. Some not coming back anytime soon because their village their homes have been burnt down. You see, normally you would expect a governor. In fact, they did one. What do you call that place? Is it called Amanze? No. I want to remember this place. They went there, right? And they said they were looking for IPOB. But guess what? They went into people's homes. They started burning the village. You know, they're like small communities. Oh, they started burning their properties, women crying, weeping, and all that. Soldiers killed as many as they could kill. And others ran away to safety. Even Hopeless Uzodinjo went to that place. And people said it was a crocodile tear. He shed tears. Like, oh boy, see destruction. This is massive. Oh. Like even you, devil self, they got there. And it was like, oh boy, hey. And I don't know how the guy actually sleep at night. So today, right, we report attack of military on civilians in different communities, right? And the people they claim to arrest, none of them is ever brought before any courts. They just take them to hidden places. Some of them, they take them from Holu, from Imo State to Suleja in Niger State, in northern Nigeria. That's how terrible of what they are doing. But we report all these things, but most people don't ask what happened to those who survive. Every time the military, they say, oh, military is attacking the attack community, or they are attacking Obov community, or they are attacking Umutanze, or they are attacking Okporo. People don't come back to ask that, wait, we heard all these attacks, all these properties being destroyed. What happened to the survivors? They just can't. They just count their losses and they try to move on. But they won't let them move on. They won't let them move on. Because they have to prove to those who want to keep one Nigeria that it's never going to happen. That they can keep one Nigeria, and those who want to break Nigeria, it's never going to happen, even if we have to sacrifice innocent people. People are being homeless. People are homeless in Igbo land, whose communities, homes and all that were burned down. And they had to go and start living with family, relatives and all that. People are not keeping tab on that. Just like every attack we talk about. We just talk about them. People don't talk about the victims afterward, because while you are trying to talk about this now, another one is happening in another few days. Another one is happening as you are watching this video. You ask, She Igbo land is not a land that is worthy to be fought for. Is it not worth it? Same way Yoruba man should ask the Yoruba politicians, like in all of this, is Yoruba land not a place that is worthy enough for you to fight for? Are the Yoruba people not worthy enough of your fight to fight for them where you have the chance to? So the answer is no. You are not worthy for them to put up a fight for or fight for you. So why then do you believe in the mirage of one Nigeria? Why then do you still believe in the mirage of a southern president, when you can place all these whole things side by side and you realize that no matter what you think, no matter what you want to brag about, if this is opposed by those who control the leverage of that power, the power is not about the person in that office. It is those behind that office. Those who are behind that office, they are not in any way in the reach of those lousy loudmouths. Yoruba land is not. They said Nigeria is worth, and they are not fighting for Nigeria. You know that. You are not going to say they are fighting for Nigeria. Nigeria is what it is. You protect what you love. You don't let it get destroyed. These guys are ganging up, grouping together to milk and further destroy Nigeria. How did I know? It's because of their action. Can you prove me wrong? I have my evidence. I've shared a lot with you. Are you not listening? You should be listening. Their plans are all negative, with negative consequences, because their plans only take care of them. They are not fighting for you. They won't fight for you. They don't see the reasons why. When they call you to fight, they are asking you to fight for them. When they're about to lose it, they will rely on you. And if you win it for them, they will abandon you. Are you not tired of the cycle? They blame you for overreacting when the life of your family is in danger, when the life of those in your community are in danger. They blame you for it. Why are you overreacting? We're working on it. But they are not. They're not working on anything. So I'm asking you to reason. I'm not asking you to do anything than to reason. If Yoruba people are not worthy of their fight, why should you want to fight a Yoruba brother or sister for telling you that it's a waste of time? Because the power you think you're going to have, you don't even have it. You don't. They don't have it. You know it. The power they want to have, the one you are looking forward to, is not coming from you. It's not coming from how many recharge cards you share. It's not coming from how many people you convince to support Tinubu. That power is not yours. Therefore, it is never going to be used in your interest. Because they are not even fighting for you in the first place. It doesn't have to make any sense to you. Don't worry. It will make sense to you later. And that's why they say, ye one, Lola. Some will turn it to music. Say, tí bàbá bá ń bá ẹ wí tẹ́tí kó gbọ́ o, tí Maiyegun bá ń bá ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ ṣe ni kó gbà o. Ìwọ tí mo bá sọ tó gbọ́ lẹ́nu mi o, olókù àdá o ni yóò dùn nígbẹ̀yìn o. Kórí má ṣe ẹ́ o lọ́mọ adọ́run, mo ti tọ́ o. Adọ́run, mo ti tọ́. Tí Maiyegun bá ń bá ẹ wí àní kó gbà, kórí má ṣe ẹ́ o ládọ́run, mo ti tọ́ o. Adọ́run, mo ti tọ́. When I say it to you, bring it to your conscious mind and consciousness, and we can link everything together, then you will figure it out. So what Maiyegun is saying is that it's not even worth it at all. Whether I support Buhari, whether I support Tinubu, or I support Oshibaju, or I support Wike, or I support this or that, the real power does not really lie in what I gave. The real power lies in the hand of the people we are trying to get away from. So what difference is that going to make? Is it worth it? That's why I continue to say we should be our brother's friends. We can disagree. I love it. Let's disagree. Maiyegun, you are wrong. You see, when you tell me I'm wrong, when you tell me that, Maiyegun, I disagree with you on that one, do you see me coming back to attack you and abuse you? You can disagree with me without having to tear me down. It simply means you listened to me. That's why you disagreed. It simply means you got my message. So mine is to listen to you. Disagree. Do all of that. But we should be together. If we really understand this whole thing. Because, listen, the only power that is beyond all of them, including those who believe that they control the leveler of power behind power, is the people's power. Our power. The power of numbers. Numbers don't lie. That's what they say. Numbers don't lie. The other day I said if you have 2 million or 5 or 6 million Yorubas who decided to picket everywhere in Yoruba land, 1 million in Ogun State, 1 million in Osun State, 1 million people in Ekiti State, 1 million civilians there in Ondo State, maybe 5 million in Lagos State because it's big, to make it more effective. Picket everywhere, government offices, governor's offices, everywhere, public center everywhere. No, this 5, about 10 million people. Even Abuja won't send police. If they send police or what have you, what are you going to send? We are talking about 10 million people. Even policemen go there part of the number, picketing police station. Soldiers go there part of those. Retired soldiers, current serving soldiers, policemen, they will take off their shirt. They will picket everywhere. That is people's power. That is something they would never allow to happen. And people said it's going to happen spontaneously. You know, say me, I'll be priest for the temple of truth here. So if I say it, if it pleases you, you go to bed, sleep sound and happy. I say, tonight's broadcast is fire. I love it. If I say it and it got you angry, upset, somehow, disagreed, angry, this man, you go open the line, I want to call you, I want to tell you to your face, then you didn't have that chance. It simply means that throughout the night, you are possibly going to be thinking about it. Not thinking about just me. You'll be thinking about everything said because you listened to me. People's power. So once those are beginning to connect, nobody's going to say because you are an Igbo man, because you are an Hausa man, oh, he's a Fulani man from Sokoto. I don't trust Fulani people. You will no longer care. You would care not. Because you are going to be united by that spontaneity or spontaneous reaction of just one thing. Now we get it. Without us breaking the fold, nothing is going to break. That is the only thing. And that's me as a priest. The time I'm looking forward to. I say, hey, Baba, give us a date where all of us go just mad and enter street and do everything and change this whole thing. Take our every demand we want, and then Yoruba will be out of this whole thing in no time. I said, if you're asking about if I'm hearing from, Baba, if I'm hearing from somebody who probably tells me something, I will say, let the truth guide you and set you free. Because once you reach it, right, you will feel it. You will sense it around you. People will be so wise enough. Students will know that going to school is not enough. Having a plan, having a dream, and the rest of that in Nigeria is not enough. Because those dreams can be taken away from you like that. So the way they've programmed the system, Nigeria, if you are a Nigerian, right, and living in Nigeria, and you don't belong to the caucus of all these criminals, it's like this life is already leading you by 3-0. No joke. So, if you are now poor, like you come from a very kind of, tough family, life will be leading you by 5-0. And this kind of disadvantage, I'll tell you where you're going to get them from, because you probably have heard that elsewhere before. Oh, if you are a Nigerian and then, life is leading you by 3-0. If you are a Nigerian and then you are still poor, life is leading you by 5-0. What I could make out of that is this. The type of education you are going to have access to. The type of home you are going to have access to. The type of, the type of opportunities you are going to have access to. All these opportunities will be decided by what your parents are capable of doing. Are they civil servants? At least they can send you to public school or even private school with small money and give you some education leverage. So if there are affordability to send you to public school when it was still good, you know what that can do for you. Is that you are exceptionally good and the best, and they give you a scholarship and take you out of other hundreds of thousands of other children like you who are never going to get that, or the system is going to swallow them. So your parents can buy that for you based on the type of education they make you have access to. Not everybody have access to the same education opportunity. Not everyone have, and then as a Nigerian, if your parents have small money, they are likely going to be able to afford to pay for your medical treatment as a child, to try to protect you from all diseases that they could afford to prevent you from, to keep you alive, get you educated. Obviously, if you come from a family that is managing to, at least, they are likely going to find you a job. You see? And the type of job they're going to find you depends on what they have. But if you come from a poorer family, the type of education you are going to have access to or how far you go will determine if you are actually going to even be above poverty by any difference. Yeah? In most cases, you have millions of people who dropped out of that same education line and they ended up getting all kind of adulterated education that can't really be pinpointed at anything, which reflects in the society you see today. So, since your access to education will determine the access to opportunities, millions of Nigerians, young people, children, have already been denied what type of opportunities they will have access to due to the type of education they have access to. And since they are poorer, the area they grew up in will also impact on how they will see life and how they will approach life. So, when they now meet life generally, you see, opportunities is lacking. Education is lacking. Some of them who survived the brutality of a poor healthcare, some of us who survived, because I'm part of those who survived, right? Majority of my mates didn't survive. You get? So, thank you. Hang on. There's one thing here I need to quickly undo. Just 1 second. Right. I hate this. Sorry about that. So, as a poor Nigerian, then it is now left for you how you are going to survive in a limited opportunity environment. So this impacts on what you finally have to get. So overall, it is what Nigeria did to us. So if I now say, is it worth it to continue to defend those who gave no damn about you? I think I'll let you answer that because I'm going to, I'm sorry, right? I'm going to open the line here and then I'm going to have you add your own contributions in a way. But the bottom line is this. We know the position of, we know our position if you don't want to lie to yourselves. Okay? And that the position is that we don't belong to a system that says, shut up your mouth. If you're not comfortable with this arrangement, you can go to hell. Same thing for our children and all that. So until we have that consciousness and all that in large scale to pull off a pushback, starting with those parading themselves as your saviors today, we will likely be on this for a long time. I just thought I should put it that way. Then I'll open the line. Now, the number to phone is a WhatsApp call only, right? So you pick that up in the on your screen, and if you call in, you will be straight into the studio. I call this studio, by the way. But I'm also going to give myself a little break. You can call it a drink break.